time to put our star in a reasonably priced car. Now, this one's got a restaurant. He's got 3 of them from a tyre company. Shall we meet him? Ladies and gentlemen, Britain's best chef, apart from Ainsley Harriott, obviously, Gordon Ramsay. Hi, Gordon.
Ainsley Harriott.
Ainsley Harriott?
He's not a chef.
What?
He's a comedian.
I'm sorry, Ainsley Harriott's not a chef?
He doesn't even have a restaurant, Jeremy. He's a comedian and a presenter.
He can knock up supper for a £5.
He can barbecue food.
He gets the contents of a tin and the Hoover bag, knock them together, £5, you can feed a family for a month. You? £5 for a sprig of parsley. Anyway, listen, in between opening like 25,000 restaurants, you've managed to dish up 4 children.
Yes.
So...
Under 4.
All under 4?
All under 4, yeah. Nightmare.
What a mess. Whoa.
Something to do...
Look at that.
Thank you.
Mine will be empty by now, I should imagine.
Have you got a cushion?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 under 4.
So, what do you do for a family car?
Family car. It turned out a bit of a problem with the Range Rover because we could never get all 4 seats in the back. So, Tana came up with the idea of buying a new Mercedes and got one of those ML 6-seaters.
Yeah.
So,
but there's no boot in the back of that.
There's definitely no boot in the back, no. But I don't really get sort of over-involved with those sort of, you know...
You don't do the school run?
I did once. And it was an absolute nightmare.
Go on, talk me through it.
Well, it's, you know, 20 past 8 in the morning. And you're driving along the sort of Wandsworth Road towards Battersea. And the women now, the mums, don't double park. They treble park.
I have to say, though, rather amusingly, is that a few years ago, I was making a programme about women doing the school run in Chelsea, turned up with a film crew outside a little school in Sloane Square. Who should pull up and treble park but Mrs. Gordon Ramsay?
I thought you'd forgotten about that.
No, of course. How could I possibly forget? She's very attractive. Which is my key for not doing the school run, chaps. OK? What you do, volunteer, OK? I'll do the school run this morning, do it. The next morning, do it again. Next morning, do it again. 4th morning, say to your wife, a lot of those mums at the school, quite slim, aren't they? Never do it again. Yeah. That's my key.
Women drivers and vegetarians. And if we could just forget these congestion charges and have alternate days, one for women drivers, one for vegetarians, London would be a dream to drive around, no?
How would this play? Is this good, do you think?
Well, I didn't go to London, vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian? Get out!
He does not look like a vegetarian.
What the hell are you doing at Tockie's Gardener's World? Is in Hampshire. I can try and explain that. What are you vegetarians? I quite like that idea.
But, I mean, they drive, you know, 15 mile an hour.
Who, vegetarians
yes.
do?
And they sort of don't look where they're going. They never indicate. And the minute there's a problem on the road, they sort of let go of the steering wheel.
How are you able to tell that they're vegetarians? This is the one thing I like to think they are, of course.
Yeah, because they just look rather dodgy.
Sort of pale and wan. And they need a bit...
In need of a good bloody fillet steak and sort of, you know...
Now, while we're on the subject of things that annoy us on the road, motorway service stations. We've all been there. What do you think of the food?
Shockingly, disgustingly fad, pretty dismal, plastic...
And expensive.
Gross, imitation food. And before you go on any motorway, eat before you drive.
No, actually, funny enough, no need to eat before you drive. We had a bit of an idea. We thought, hang on a minute, you're driving along in a car which has a big, hot engine in the front. Why not use that to cook your food as you drive along? So this morning we had an idea, OK? OK, let's run some tape here. I'll show you what we did. This is a Subaru Forester. Right. And strapped to its flat-4 engine, we have a succulent turkey breast and a reduction of porcini mushrooms and red wine garnished with winter sprouts. And what could be more delicious than that? OK, this is the larder we turned into a Lotus the other day, and that's being used to cook a baby rack of lamb with market vegetables. Dressed in olive oil and Mediterranean herbs, right? Now, the Suzuki Liana, which will be cooking a wild salmon on a bed of lemon thyme, accompanied by Pond's Top Gear. Vegetarian option there. No, because we recognise, we know that fish is justifiable homicide. Meat's the murderous thing.
You actually cook them on there?
Yeah, no, they're on the engines now as they're trundling along. And forget gas mask 6 or 450 degrees. The measurement here is revs. We recommend 3,000 RPM for about 2 hours, OK? So after 2 hours, I pulled one of them in. OK, here it is. Let's have a little look how we're doing. I think it's still a bit pink. I'll add some seasoning, see if we can mask the smell of engine oil in there, and send it back out again, I suspect. Best thing to do. Take that down, there we go. Go back on the track, or the rotisserie, as we like to call it. So really, we've kind of worked it out that if you were to set off from London, from where you live, go into Leeds, by the time you get to Woodall Services near Sheffield, lunch should be about ready, OK? So they were trundling round our track this morning for 2 hours, and is the Stig here? We've finally allowed him to come out of the cold, and we've allowed him into the base. Can you bring the food over? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever in the studio, the Stig. Here it is. Why don't you sample some of that salmon and tell me what you think?
This was actually cooked on the engine.
That was genuinely, all of this food was cooked on the engine of a car. Tell me if that matches up to motorway service cooking.
It certainly matches it, yes, definitely. That is slightly dry, a little bit overcooked, and...
so not worthy of 3 stars? 2 stars?
I wouldn't even give that...
1 star?
I wouldn't even give that 1 star, definitely.
Not even 1 star?
No.
Oh, well,
no.
Try a bit of lamb. Try a bit of lamb. Now, just to remind everybody, this was cooked on the larder, market vegetables, dressed in olive oil, Mediterranean herbs. That's your sort of food, mate. What do you think of his sort of food? I think Gordon is about to be sick. You have some. Have some sprouts. Not even the vegetarian likes it.
That taste of petrol, castrol, oily, greasy...
Yes, it was cooked on an engine. That's why. And that's what tends to happen.
The lamb, sadly, is overcooked, so 2,000 revs for 2 hours is far too long.
That's the problem, you see. We cooked it on a 4-speed car. Here's a tip. If you're cooking lamb, make sure it's 5-speed, preferably 6-speed. OK, who would like to see Gordon's lap? Yes, let's play it. Come on. Looking cheerful. That's an aggressive start. That's the most aggressive start we've seen all series.
Come on, you. Concentrate. Bloody hell, I could have sworn I just saw a traffic warden.
That's the whole point of this track there are now. Now, let's just see how tight you are on that line. Look at that. Precision driving, mate. That is precision driving. That's about 85 through there, and then that's it.
Brake at 100 and turn. Brake. Turn, gently. Too early.
That's where most celebs come off, but you're across the line. And... Gordon R. Now, these are the sort of times you're looking to be. It was a dry day, so you should be somewhere near the top, OK? 1 minute, 50 seconds. Same as me, ladies and gentlemen. That's an epic time. That is an epic time. I'm obviously not going to put you above me. Just be rude.
Alphabetical order.
Yeah, alphabetical order. And, yes, G comes after J. On that wall chart it does. Anyway, Gordon Ramsay, it's been an absolute riot having you here. Thanks very much.
Thank you.